Now a bump map for this is not so bad to make, but let me explain some things. If you have multiple colors, a bump map is really hard to make, especially when they're closely related to the family, like browns and dark browns and greens. Okay, those are really hard things to kind of separate from each other. This is all one color, so if I desaturate this as black and white, it actually looks pretty good. So I'm going to duplicate this layer, and I'm going to go Image, Adjustments, and I'm going to go to Desaturate. Okay. So that turns out really well. A little trick though is you don't want it so contrasty. You want it so it's very dull. So to do that, you go to Exposure, and you can play around with the values in here and dull it out. And you want it also close to 50% gray. So what I usually do is I dull it out and I use gamma correction efficiently and get something that looks like that. So slight bump. Too much contrast equals too much noise and it looks bad. Let's make a new layer, and I'm going to choose 50% gray here. How you do that is type in 128 for all these. And you get a 50% color. On this new layer, I just want to fill it with the foreground texture. Okay. And then go Filter, Noise, Add Noise. I'm going to put like a 1% noise value on this. So I need this one on top and that noise value. Now usually you can go on the internet and look for that fabric that makes up the helmet, this fabric, and make a nicer map for it. But really surface noise is all what you need for a good bump map. And this is a bump map non-tangent. Tangent bump maps, I won't get into that right now. So save as, and I'm going to save this as bump 2. Alright, so what I need to do is now go back to Maya and then click on my helmet texture. And in here, what I could do is click on this area and double click, and I get a real-time representation of what it is. Again, I'm going to have to go down here to import the bump mapping. So I can go to File 2D and then import that bump. And then we're going to have to clean up our scene quite a bit in the next video. Alright, so this is what I have. This, which is really, really harsh. Okay, so to turn that down, all we have to do is go to Bump 2D1 and turn it to like 0.25. And there we go. Got a nice noise value appearing on the helmet. If I go to default rendering, you can see the difference here to here. Okay, very nice. Just adds that extra oomph. Okay, to straighten all this out, I just have to go here. And I see I grabbed the wrong file here, and that's why I said clean up. Let's kind of look at the bump map 2. And that's even better. It's very slight. Here's what it looks like off. Very nice. Again, if you want to up that value, but very important to note that you don't have this ability in a game engine to up this value or lower this value. So it's best to get it to look good in 1, because that's what it's going to look like in game. Okay? So if you see this as too harsh, again, use that trick of using the exposure value back in Photoshop. Get it to look good here, and you'll be so proud of it back in Maya because you don't have to use any special tricks or turn anything down or anything like that. So it's always best to get it to look like a good 1-to-1 value here. And what's nice about this is you can tweak them separated like that. And you can reload that map by clicking here, reload. So that's a lot nicer, very slight. And both those methods work on the noise and or the actual strap too. All right, now that we're all done, what I want to show you is how to clean all this mess up and get it ready for like an in-game production line. All right, so join me in the next video.